Just walk straight, you'll see me.
Walk into the traffic?
Not into the traffic, genius. Stop. Look to your right.
There you are. Hi.
Cross the street, then we'll walk to the station together. So, how did the rest of the conference go? Was it as boring as you were making it out to be?
Even worse than I thought. I'd signed up for a session on corporate governance and they decided a woman should moderate.
Oh, and how can a woman actually have any authority?
Would you let me finish? You're right. It ended up being just an audience mansplaining back at her. It was embarrassing. Hey.
Hello, hello. What, are you a Bollywood star? You changed.
Figured the jacket, tie, and dress shoes combo won't work for strolling around. I thought I'd catch you at home, but you're already left. You always look amazing. I'm digging this. Kurta and Converse kicks? Very cool.
Yeah, well, I had to run an errand. This is how I always dress. Comfort over style. Clearly, you put some thought into your outfits, though. All right, let's get going. We have to get to the Kennedy station, and then we'll hop on the SRT.
Lead the way. This place has changed a lot. That hot dog cart has been there forever, though.
I guess locals don't notice the small changes so much. How long since you were last in Toronto?
3 years ago, maybe? Came in for a quick visit with my family. They moved to Waterloo, I think like almost 10 years ago, to be closer to my sister. She's been living there since she graduated and got a job there. Used to take my parents like 2 hours or more to commute to her. Now they live right next door.
Is she in the tech industry?
How'd you guess?
Educated guess. I mean, isn't Waterloo pretty much a feeder system to Silicon Valley?
Yes, it is. She had some FANG offers in the Valley, but she decided to stick it out here. She's in a senior management position now at a health startup. Loves her job. When my sister had a baby 3 years ago, my parents were a huge help.
Childcare is brutal. If you need to work, you end up forking over most of your salary for the first few years. It's what I'm always telling Amit.
Oh, yeah? You and Amit are in talks to start a family?
We're in talks about a lot of things.
I mean, my sister is a high-income earner. She has a nanny who also helps around the house, but it ain't cheap. So, what about you and Amit? Any plans for parenthood?
Okay, we're here. I have a Metro card. Might as well get you a day pass. I think you can get it at the vending machine.
I'll use my credit card.
Right, this way. We have to get to Bloor and then change lines. So, your niece is 3 now? What's her name?
Laher. She's like a wave of energy. Rushes in with a smile and a hug. Total cutie pie.
Look at you. Proud uncle. Are you her favorite mama?
Pretty much her only mama. We're a small family. Just me and my sister. She decided to have a child by herself, and now she wants to adopt another one.
That's amazing. And your parents are cool with it?
It took them some time to adjust. I think they were hoping she would get married. When my sister hit 30, every now and then, my parents would suggest a match. Someone in the community would tell them about an eligible bachelor. Then one day my sister announced that she's looking into sperm banks. That conversation went over well. I was traveling a lot, kept getting these missed calls from my parents, and then texts from my sister not to worry. She was right. They came around. They adore Laher.
Still, that must have been tough. The community doesn't look too kindly upon single women, especially single pregnant women.
They're all stuck in the 70s. All those aunties and uncles who came from India, trying to maintain a culture that no longer exists. So Bloor, then Kennedy?
Yep. And your sister wants to adopt now?
She's been researching it. It's quite the process.
The agencies want to make sure the parent is up for it. Many people have no idea what parenting entails. They just think babies are cute. They don't realize how much work goes into it.
Okay. So do you want kids?
I'm not sure. Having a kid totally changes your life. What about you? Are you seeing someone?
Nope. Single. Not sure about kids. I see my friends with kids. It looks nice. Then when I talk to some of them, like their kids are in private schools, got the latest gadgets, tutoring. But these friends are still doing the exact same thing their parents did to them. They have all these expectations from their kids. I don't know if I want that.
Not like the kids asked to be born into all of this mess.
Not many people think like you.
So why are you single? You could casually date. There are women who don't necessarily want the happily ever after.
I've never met one.
You know, for the longest time, I thought that Amit and I would just date forever. I was never really invested in this whole marriage industrial complex.
Really? So why did you get married?
Amit wore me down. He's quite traditional in many ways. I suggested we just live together. He was having none of it. Even if I could have somehow convinced him, his mom is super conservative.
Auntie never struck me to be an old school like that.
She'll joke around with her sons and their friends. Daughter-in-laws come under an entirely different category.
Ah.
This is the last stop. Now we take the SRT. Anyway, this is my biggest argument with my parents. They bring us up to be independent women. But then we're also supposed to compromise. Every time I have an argument with Amit, they tell me to calm down. There are days I don't even recognize myself.
Why?
It's like, okay, you're at a gathering and you let one sexist remark slide. Someone said something in passing, you roll your eyes, whatever. But then the next time, someone says something racist, like how carding makes sense, or...
People are allowed to have freedom of expression. I may not agree with it, but they have the right to voice it.
Oh, I see. You're one of those guys.
What guys?
You know, the Joe Rogan can say whatever on his podcast. Those guys.
Well, I'm not saying he's right, but he can say what he wants on his own podcast.
Except when he has millions of followers. Jeez.
We're going off topic now.
But you know I'm right, right?
Sure. But things are good between you and Amit?
The Amit I met 5 years ago was very different. Although, now that I know our meeting wasn't accidental, I wonder, did I ever know the real Amit? Did he just put on a show?
No. Amit has changed. I mean, he was always ambitious, but he also had this other side. Like in high school, he was super invested in the Big Brothers and Sisters program.
It's just, sometimes I feel we're living two separate lives. But then, this is marriage, right? I know Amit's worked hard to get to where he's at. I wish he'd see we actually have it pretty good now. That we could, for example, afford to pay a higher tax rate.
The thing with tax is...
Oh my God, don't. You guys are like peas in a pod. Amit should be on this trip with you. We have to catch a bus. We're almost there.
You weren't joking about the commute.
Oh, we need to catch that one. Come on. A city is only good as its public transit.
It's easier to navigate in your car. It's just the truth.
No, the truth is that buses aren't sexy enough for people like you. But no one likes that argument.
Especially Amit's friends?
I'm sure those guys are all going to vote conservative in the next election.
You know, I don't necessarily disagree with them.
Are you serious?
I mean, there are many party members who are fiscally conservative and socially progressive.
You mean the ones who want to revisit the whole abortion thing?
Obviously, it's not a platform I would support. But this is politics, right? It gets a little dirty.
Only the very privileged can call matters of life and death politics. We're almost there. That's our stop. This place has changed a lot. When I used to come here, it was a dinky little takeout joint. I guess business must be good to be able to buy the space next door.
Ah, so you agree there are some good things about capitalism then?
Oh my God, you really need to win arguments, don't you?
Don't you?
Fine, I'll play. How do we know that that owner guy will be able to pay off all the loans he likely took to expand the business? Maybe he got involved in some predatory loan arrangement. If he misses one payment, everything will come crumbling down.
Or he's got a good profit margin and expanding his restaurant into the next door space is a sound investment. But yes, the food business can be fickle. Lots of overheads.
It's just around this corner, that spice mix grinding shop. Did Amit mention that he was once considering investing in this downtown restaurant with one of his promoter friends?
Doesn't ring a bell.
He was so into it. Couldn't stop talking about it for months. I mean, his friend was pretty successful. It seemed to make sense. And I think Amit was a little starry-eyed about all the celebrities his promoter friend was hanging out with.
I sense a butt coming on.
Actually, I'm not sure what happened. He stopped talking about the deal after a while. He seemed kind of relieved in the end. I don't think he would have had the stamina to keep up with that kind of business venture. I'm not sure what kind of investment he was even planning.
Like I said, Amit has always been very ambitious. But I would caution him against trying to have it all.
So capitalism does have some shortcomings. Fascinating.
Sure, if you lose sight of what's important to you. Sometimes you get so invested in this game of climbing the next step of the ladder, you totally miss the things right in front of you. Or you feel like you'll come back to it. Whatever it is, a missed birthday, even just a movie date. But that time is gone. And when you're constantly making up for the things you missed out on, it gets harder and harder to catch up.
Speaking from experience?
Partly. Also, just what I see around me constantly. I hope Amit realizes what he has standing right in front of him.
Well, this won't take too long. Hello, Uncle.
नमस्ते जी, कैसे हो आप? बहुत दिन हो गया.
I know. It's been a long time. Yes. The usual. Where's your son now?
UTC में जा रहा है.
Oh, UTSC. Nice.
Here, let me get your coat.
Oh, thanks. And then this guy proceeds to try out a series of corny one-liners.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes. And Susan was so embarrassed. Meanwhile, we're laughing our heads off.
Sounds like you two had a lot of fun.
Amit, how come you're home so early?
I decided to bring some work home. Doesn't matter where I do it, really. So long as it's done by tomorrow.
You should have joined us.
Nah, those is not really my thing. Plus, looks like you guys didn't need me. Didn't want to interrupt you two from gallivanting around Scarborough together.
You should have came, man. Not sure when you last went to the place. Even Mira was surprised. That guy's done up his place nice. Food was amazing.
Anyone up for tea? Coffee?
I'll have some tea. Ravioli's been raving about the way you make it. Been a while since I've had it. Might as well remind myself of how my wife makes tea.
A cup for you too, Rav?
Sure. So, how was work? Any crazy deals?
Not really. More of the same. Just need to put together a presentation for tomorrow. I'm hoping it's not another late night tonight.
Careful not to burn yourself out, man.
Yeah, I know. Work-life balance and all that nonsense.
You know it isn't nonsense.
Amit, can you get yours in Rav's cup?
Sure. So, what did you guys do for like 5 hours?
Well, it took forever to get there, first of all. It was what, 2 trains and a bus ride? Then it took time to get the food. That place was packed.
They've expanded into the shop next door, Amit. They actually have tables and seats now.
What you get?
This guy can eat. He got a dosa and a plate of idli sambar and vada sambar.
Like I said, food was good. Mwah. And then we walked into the Sri Lankan grocery store or something. Mira got some spices to ground up.
Oh, you finally got your garam masala done. She's been asking if we had any plans to go to Scarborough. I keep on telling her it's too far away for a trip just to grind spices. She can just buy a good spice grinder. More cost effective.
I also go for conversations with grocery store uncle. Guess what? Gajan is going to UTSC now.
Who?
Uncle's youngest son.
Speaking of spices, what should we have for dinner tonight? Mira, how about saag paneer? I haven't had that in a while. I told you, right, Rav? Mira is an amazing cook. She makes great saag paneer.
Anything simple is fine.
Sure, I can do that. Any other requests, Amit?
That should do it. Rav, wanna hit up a bar for a quick drink?
Sure, man. Although we don't need to make a trip to the bar for my sake.
Nah, man, just feel the need to take the edge off a little tonight.
When do you want to leave?
After this tea?
Cool.
Thanks Thanks for listening to The Lonely Wife. Is your New Year's resolution to love more? Meet Cute has you covered. Follow us on your favorite podcast app for a new rom-com series every month. And subscribe on Apple Podcasts to get early access to binge the latest series in full when it launches, plus our Meet Cute singles catalog. Don't forget to rate us 5 stars.